Yo, what's up, everybody? We got a quick review for you today, or maybe not so quick, depending on how we get through it. Today we will be reviewing the Haute 42 R16, and it is named the R16 because it has 16 buttons that can be used during gameplay. You see mine just kind of beat up, and we'll go over that in a second. This is and it's taped onto here because it's so small and lightweight that it slides around a lot on my lap. It does come with rubber feet that you can, like sticky rubber feet you can put on it, but of course I lost them. I tried my hardest to look for them, but I still couldn't find them, so I just grabbed some two-sided tape and slapped this bad boy on this cardboard box I had. So let's get into the review of the product. This is my first leverless pad. I'm normally a stick player, but the mechanical parts inside my stick, my down forward and down back, stopped working. So I was looking for a cheaper alternative so I can, keep playing games. So I thought I might go leverless, hoping for some advantages in gameplay. Like it if you're not, call it cheating, whatever you want to call it. Because one person called me out saying I was a cheater and yada yada yada, but that doesn't bother me because people are going to play on what they want to play on regardless. So let's get more into it. First of all, this thing is really built. It's a really good build quality, except for the kind of button and switches, which can pop on and off. For the buttons, I've had the switches mechanism that holds the button into the switch literally ripped off, and that part was inside the button when I took it out. So just be mindful when playing. It hasn't happened to me again because I'm more mindful when I'm playing of the leverless's limitations. When I first got it, maybe I was hitting the buttons too hard, and if you kind of brush over top of it, they can just pop out. So like if you slide it on something, a button could pop out with the part inside that keeps the button on the switch. So after I started becoming mindful of not pushing buttons so hard and taking a little bit more care of it, I haven't had that issue yet. Switches are very easy to replace. They give you this little metal tool. You take the tool, you put it on the switch, and it grips it from the bottom and pulls out. Now this might take a while for you to get it off. They're very locked in, so you're gonna have to do a lot of wiggling and jiggling to get the switch to come out. I meant one time it took me like 10 minutes just to get one switch out because they're really in there, and I don't know why at the bottom of the switch there isn't like a little gap where the tool can pull it out. It doesn't really have that, so you're gonna have to really dig in there and get it out. Next is the buttons. The buttons are really good, but the problem I have the most with this thing is, like, if you hit the edge of a button, you won't get a press because the switches are breaking down, and if you take the button cap off, you can see the part that the button sits on. It like wiggles a little more after use. So if you hit the edge of a button, you won't get the endpoint. The button will kind of just slide to the side without getting the input. So you kind of have to push these buttons dead center sometimes to get your input registered. The good thing is about that button caps and the switches are easily accessible to buy on Amazon or the Haute website, wherever you want to buy them from, and they're relatively cheap. So replacing them aren't that bad, and they will give you an extra switch, but no extra buttons. There's one extra switch in the package, and no buttons. So this is how my stick looks after removing switches, replacing them in places where switches are broken. And this is what we've got, and I like having those buttons out anyway because, like, this button right here, while doing combos I was hitting this button by accident, and this button does something in training mode or something, so I just took it out. Another thing about it, it is pretty lightweight, so I would suggest finding something you can sit it on while you're playing so it doesn't slide around. This thing slides around on me all the time, and since if you have to push the buttons dead center, just sliding it a little bit, you might miss the button. Happens to me all the time in match when I'm practicing. It's pretty freaking annoying. Our K6 don't have that problem because they're so weighted. Those things will never slide around on you. What else can we talk about this thing? Of course, it has full RGB. All the button colors are customizable. When you push the button down, you can have it change colors. For the button presses, there's a few little animations that you can cycle through to get whatever animation you like for the pad. Another thing is this thing can be, the settings can be tinkered with through any computer. So there's a small little button on the back of this thing. You're gonna need like a ballpoint pen to push it, because it's a little recessed inside of the case, and it's very small. So what you do is you hold that button while plugging it into your PC, and your PC will recognize it. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna open a browser, and you're gonna enter it has a built-in like IP address. You put that IP address into your web browser, and then you'll actually see your stick pop up in a browser. So this thing can be customized from any PC, which is really, really great. You can be on the go. If somebody has a laptop, yo, let me use your laptop to adjust my settings. Whatever you need to do, it's really, really good. Also, it has a little LED display, black and white. You can use this thing to do a custom startup animation, and it actually shows you on the LED. I know you guys can't really see it, but if I push a button, the LED will show me what buttons I'm pushing. And when it's in setting mode, you can see what mode I have it in. I have it on X input, which is very common for fighting games on PC. That's normally the standard input for PC. This thing does work on PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. And how you get that to work is when you unplug it, and then you hold one of these 4 buttons for what console you want it to activate on while you plug it back in, and it'll switch to that console. So switching consoles, maybe you're at a friend's house, you're playing on PS5, then you go to your boy's house and you're playing on Xbox. Just remove the cable, hold the button, and select what console or device you want it to play on. What can I say next about this thing? If you're looking to play on PS5, you will need this dongle authenticator, because this thing is not a registered, licensed, like official PlayStation controller. So what they do is they stuck a USB port on the device, and you have to buy this dongle separately. You do need a specific dongle. If you're playing without the dongle, you can play with this thing on PS5, but after 8 minutes, the PS5 will time the controller out. So you can get a few matches in before it times out, and then if you want to not buy the dongle, just unplug it and plug it back in, and it'll refresh that 8 minutes. So before I got the dongle, I was playing Street Fighter 6. I would play 2 matches and just pull it out, put it back in, and then I have another 8 minutes. And if you're playing Street Fighter, you'll definitely finish 2 or 3 matches within the 8 minutes. So it was pretty decent for a while. One of my viewers on Twitch actually donated the money for the dongle for me. Once you plug that in, your PS5 will recognize it instantly, and you won't have to reset the timer by unplugging it and plugging it back in. Another gripe I have about this thing is really just the overall weight of it. It's not heavy at all, but it is very portable. If you're used to carrying an arcade stick around, those things don't even fit in a 17-inch laptop backpack. They just don't fit in there unless you buy the special backpack from Quamba or whatever backpack is made for them. But this thing is literally the size of a 13-inch MacBook Pro when it's closed. Same size. It'll fit in a laptop sleeve. It'll fit in a bag so you can have all your other things in there. It's really, really great. And I wish we had this portability back in the Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5 days. But leverlesses are really popular right now. The other reason I went with this thing is because on a stick, if you want to go from, back to forward, you kind of have to cross that gap in the middle, and that kind of takes time. Even the fastest player takes some time to go from back to forward. But with this thing, I can just hold back, and then on the next frame, I can literally be holding forward. You can't do that on stick because there's a gap that you have to cross. Now, this thing does have that limitation where you can't do, like, you can hold back for whatever the Capcom bans, so you don't have to worry about that problem with cheating if you're holding back and then forward down, whatever the issue was. I'm not sure what it was called, but it is a legitimate controller for fighting games, so you don't have to worry about cheat or anything. And the max buttons I think you can have on a tournament controller is like, I don't know, 16, 11. I'm not really sure. I'll have to do more information checking to see how many buttons you're allowed to have on a pad, but I don't know, maybe by just unplugging them and showing them that, hey, half my buttons aren't even plugged in, they might let it slide. Otherwise, the thing has given me a really good experience with fighting games. It's a decent price. I think this one was around $70, and then add on another $50 for that PS5 authenticator. If you're not on PlayStation, then $60-$70 flat, and you know arcade sticks can be upwards of $200 depending on if there's a shortness in the market for them or what brand you're getting. I know my Quamba stick, I got it from Video Games New York. On Amazon it was selling for $350. So I went to Video Games New York and got it for $210, maybe $200, $210, $17 with tax, something like that. But sometimes sticks on Amazon are really overpriced, and they seem to sell out when a new fighting game drops. Street Fighter, Tekken, people go and gobble them up so they can get ready for the new game. But for the most part, my experience has been really good. Some of these extra buttons, they're like for settings when you're in training mode. Like if I push this button I took out here, it let me switch to the other character and do a quick recording, and then I push this button and then the recording plays. So you can use it in training mode to navigate some of the settings a little bit more easier. I do really like that, and I didn't think I was going to use that feature, but I actually started using it when I was trying to figure out whiff punishing with Kimberly. I would just click the button, record with the character that's going to get whiff punished, click this other button, and then that replay will play. Like maybe I'm having Sagat throw a medium punch because I'm trying to whiff punish it. That was really good feature to have. So I'm saying if you guys really are looking in the market for something to play on, I would get this. It also has these 4 buttons at the top. It's basically start, options, and the start and option buttons are controller. That's what these things really do. So if you're looking in the market, I would say pick one up. I would just say treat it with care, because you will break some of the buttons and the switches. So I would just say keep it with care. Make sure it doesn't rub up against anything, because the buttons do stick out of the case. So you'll rub up against something, the button will fly out with the switch mechanism in it. Quick review, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't think I have anything else to say about the device. So I'll see you guys next time. Later.